Hey y'all, what's up? How's your Wednesday going? I am so excited to be back here for the fourth installment of the Blog Girl series. For those of you who are just joining us, this is a series about starting your own blog. So if you're just starting, no worries. You can definitely catch up to all the awesome content we've covered within the past few weeks on the blog. So let's jump right in. Today we're talking about social media. And as you all know, uh, it's a big part of our lives now. And so, of course, it is definitely a vital part of your blog and your plans for your blog. So, first topic of discussion, to start a separate social media account for your blog or to just use your personal one. This, I honestly believe, is up to your own discretion. It definitely depends on the content that you share on your blog. If your blog is reflective of your life and your lifestyle, then maybe, using your personal account will be okay, If it's something totally different, then I definitely would recommend starting and opening a separate social media account for each of the social media platforms. For example, all of my social media is under Girly and Inspired, except for my Instagram. It's under Kia Ash, but everything else is under Girly and Inspired because I just feel like my blog is reflective, and I've said this before, that my blog is reflective of my lifestyle, and so that's why I just wanted it all under one thing, and I wanted people to really connect my name, Kia Perry, with Girly and Inspired. So that was my reasoning for it. It's totally up to you. You also have to look at the time that you have to manage these accounts because it's hard enough managing one if you are on top of it. So if you have the time to manage two separate social media identities, then go for it. Totally think you should go for it. Next topic of discussion is consistency. Big thing in social media. Just like with blogging, you have to stay consistent. And this just doesn't just mean posting on a consistent basis, but it also means, you're building a brand. So it means the same voice that you have in your blog needs to trickle over into your social media platforms. It needs to be the same voice. So that way people can recognize you and still relate back to your brand. No matter where they are, whether they're on your website, your blog, or on one of your social media profiles. Now back to being consistent as far as posting content. You definitely want to make sure that you are posting consistently. There's nothing I hate worse than when, I find this really cool designer that I want to follow because I love following other designers and what they're doing on their blogs, and their social media page hasn't been updated since last year, their blog hasn't been updated in the past 6 months, and so it's just like, how can I stay updated with this person and what they're doing if they're not updating their accounts, and it honestly turns me off and it makes me not want to follow them. I've definitely unfollowed a few people because they have not posted, to their accounts. So you want to be consistent if building an audience is what you want to do. So definitely make sure that you are constantly being seen and heard by your followers. That's the only way that you'll grow your audience. And you also want to make sure that for instance, with Twitter, my rule of thumb for Twitter is to post 3 to 5 times a day. Just because Twitter's so fast, you want to constantly be on someone's timeline, and I have to be honest, I don't completely follow that rule all the time, because I have a full-time job, so I'm not always able to do that, which leads me into our next point, which is finding a managing and scheduling platform for your social media content. Now, my top pick is Hootsuite. You can go to hootsuite.com. There are many features to Hootsuite, and it's always changing and growing, but the main thing is you can schedule your tweets and Facebook posts within that platform. So, and that's what I love about it, especially if you have a full-time job. You can, when you're the same time, especially if you're a planner and you plan out your blog posts and content in advance, plan your Twitter and Facebook posts, at the same time. That way you can schedule these posts. So when you send off that post for your blog, you can not have to worry about posting, your Twitter comments or your Facebook posts, because Hootsuite will have already done that for you because you scheduled it in advance. So TweetDeck is another platform that's really good. I've heard it's really good. I've never used it, so I'm not sure if you can do your Facebook post within that. But I've heard it's really good. So whatever, do your research. But I definitely recommend using one of those, especially if this isn't your full-time job. So that is a very, very, very important. Next, let's talk about correspondence and interaction. Both of these are very important. For instance, with email, you definitely, I would hope, try to respond to people who send you emails within a reasonable amount of time. Well, you have to do the same thing with your social media, especially with Twitter. Twitter, you have to be faster, because a minute on Twitter is like an hour. You've missed so much on Twitter if you miss even a minute of it. So you definitely want to make sure when people are tweeting you that you respond in a reasonable amount of time. Now, I totally get that you obviously sometimes can't post right after they tweet you, but definitely make sure you get to it that day. Like waiting until the next day or the next day, it becomes irrelevant at that point. So definitely be on top of that. With Facebook comments, the same thing. Even though it's not as fast as Twitter, you still want to be very prompt in responding to people. Especially, again, if you want to grow your following. You want people to know that you have the time to take to comment them back. You want people to know that you're there, you see them. You want to make sure that you want people to keep coming back. And if you're not responding to their comments, they're not going to come back. So very, very important. Next, interaction. This is even more important, especially in the blogger community. We're very big about supporting one another and participating in what each other is doing. So you want to make sure that you are not only receiving tweets and receiving comments, but you want to make sure that you're giving those out as well. Make sure that you participate. If you see or if you read a blog post that you really like, find out what their Twitter handle is and tweet them and let them know, hey, awesome blog post today. Bloggers really appreciate that. And I can say that from experience. I love it when I get a comment or I get an email even or a tweet about, a blog post I did or, something I shared that they really liked. It's very much appreciated. So that's definitely something you should do. And this way people get to know your handle. When you participate, tweet about something or comment on something that, they may have said, or some of them ask questions, So another good thing on Twitter especially is Twitter now has Twitter events, which Twitter's always had Twitter events. I feel like it's become more popular now. So you definitely should participate in one of those. One big one that I used to be very, very involved in was Blog Brunch. And I haven't done it in a while or participated in it in a while. But what it is an online blog brunch through Twitter where you discuss different topics about blogging. It's so awesome. You meet so many other bloggers and you learn a lot, because you have people who are participating that are old bloggers, new bloggers. So you have a very, very vast variety of bloggers that can help you and that you can bounce ideas off of. So it's really cool. I definitely recommend you joining that if you don't have another Twitter event. But that's just another way for you, to be to participate on social media. And then also with Facebook pages, make sure you visit people's Facebook pages. Comment. A lot of people feel like Facebook just isn't what it used to be and people don't comment, which they don't. But people do look at Facebook because on my Facebook page, there are, you have all the stats, and you can see how many people have seen this post and whatnot. So I know people are looking. So I definitely think it's still a very important platform to use, and I totally recommend, using that. So definitely make sure that you are being interactive and participating. Next, content. A lot of questions that I hear about content are, what do I say, especially on Twitter? What am I supposed to be tweeting every minute of the day? Or what am I supposed to be, And it's not about tweeting every minute of the day, especially when you're talking about, specifically blogging, use it to share a piece of you, especially up on your blog. If you're not very personal, use it to share, your personality. You know what I mean? You don't have to say something every minute, but share your blog posts. There may be people, people aren't constantly looking at your website or don't always remember to check back to your website or blog to see if you posted something. So use that to remind them, hey, I posted a new blog today, go check it out, and provide a link to it. That's what I use my Facebook page for, and my Twitter. I use my Twitter also to reinforce other platforms. So if I do a new board on Pinterest, if I do a Facebook post, if I do if I'm on Google Plus now, so I would tweet that. You know what I mean? So use your social media channels to back up one another and to reinforce the content that you're putting out there. Also with that, with content, make it fun, make it fresh. Don't make it solely about you promoting yourself. I know Facebook is really good for doing giveaways and contests. Also Twitter. Do a cute little giveaway for maybe if you're offering a service, or if you have maybe you want to offer a cute little prize or something like that, just to get people's attention, especially if you're just launching a Facebook page or something like that. Make it really big. Hey, launching a Facebook page, the first followers to or friends to follow the page get such and such. Make it fun, give people an incentive to want to come. And speaking of incentives, also give them exclusive content that you wouldn't share on any other social media platform. Make them feel special for following your page. A lot of behind the scenes type of posts people really love, especially if you're in fashion and you're involved in fashion weeks and stuff like that. Show behind the scenes pictures, or share what you're going through, while you're back there behind stage. People love that kind of content, and it will keep them coming back every time. Also, we spoke on the Twitter events. If you don't want to participate in one, start your own. Create a topic and create some topics for people to talk about. Maybe even collaborate with someone else. Just make it really fun, for people. Next, on top of good content, you need good design. Now, I realize everyone isn't a designer, so you may need to hire someone to do this for you. I do design social media pages, so FYI. But you want it to be inviting. For example, if you go to a website and you're so excited because, you think this is going to be such a cool website, and it's so ugly when you get there. Like, I'm automatically turned off. I automatically go somewhere else online. I cannot stand an unattractive website. So you want to make sure your Facebook page and your Twitter page, because those are the two that you can customize. Oh, and Google Plus, you can customize that too. Make sure that you have a really cute, high resolution photo for your cover photo. Really cute profile pic, whether it's you or your logo, and make sure it's attention grabbing. You can even put some information in there. Like, for instance, if you are starting your blog and you only blog on Tuesdays, say, come back to the blog every Tuesday for a new post, and make it a really cute picture. If you do not have the software for that, which would be Photoshop, at least I personally use Photoshop for stuff like that, then you probably would have to go to a designer. If not, use an image, use a photograph, but I would recommend it being high resolution, making it a very crisp, clean picture. It's not blurry, people can see it. And also the images that you post on there, make sure they look nice as well. Okay, so also aside from your images, Facebook allows you to customize the little tabs that are underneath the cover photo, which you can actually make. Like, for instance, if you go to my page, I have a Twitter tab, I have an Instagram tab, and I believe I have a Pinterest tab, and I customized all of those. So you can definitely customize those as well. For those of you who do have the software for it, I have a link in the description that will take you to a site that gives you the dimensions of each of those, the cover pic, the profile pic, the tabs, so that way you can kind of customize and design your own Facebook page. Twitter the same. I also have a link down there that gives you the dimensions for the background. You can customize that, make it super cute and eye-catching. You can also customize your cover photo on Twitter as well. Really super cute. Same with Google Plus, customized. You really just want to, it's just like when you invite people to your house. You want it to look nice so people will stay, stay longer. If it's ugly and disgusting, people are not going to want to stay. So that's just the simple thing, bottom line for design of your social media pages, okay? So that's really it. I did want to do a quick rundown of the platforms that I currently use: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, and Google+. Really quick on Google+, it's a growing platform. I think it's really awesome. It's kind of like a mix between Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest. Really super cool. I definitely try to differentiate this platform from my other ones. I try to share more information about others and other things than about myself. However, I do share my blog posts on there too, but I try to make it more about, other information and sharing other information than I do about try to make it about girly and inspired. And another cool thing about Google Plus is you can join a community. For example, you remember the big planner that I showed you, that the awesome planner that my friend Laura created. She is the blogger over at The Native New Yorker. And she, when you purchase that planner, she invites you to this private community called Blog Better. And what it is a community of bloggers, old and new, that kind of share information and help each other out, bounce ideas off of each other. And we're just a community about blogging, and we share things about becoming a better blogger in essence. So, but you can create your own community about whatever topic you choose to, and that's what I love about Google Plus. It's a very, I feel like almost a close-knit kind of sort of community. It's different. It's definitely different than other ones. I'm still learning it, but I definitely think that you should try it if you have the time to manage another social media account. So that is really it. I wanted to really quickly also give you 2 assignments. The first assignment, is going to be, you remember during the content installment video when I told you to, for that activity, to plan out 5 or, blog posts for a week. And so that way you have it when you launch your blog, you have your content ready. Well, this time I would like for you to, or I think you should, as practice, schedule Twitter posts tweets and Facebook posts that correspond with those blog posts that you planned out. That way you can go on Hootsuite or TweetDeck or which one you prefer and schedule it, and you're all set to launch your blog, and it's a good practice. It's a good thing to get into to do routinely when you're planning out your blog posts and everything. And the second part of that activity, I want this week to really be about interaction for you all. I really want you guys to experience that. It only enhances your experience on social media. Getting involved, participating, find a tweet up or a Twitter event to be a part of. If you don't have one, do blog brunch. You learn about blogging, you meet other bloggers. It's so awesome. I haven't done it in a minute, like I said, but it's a really good Twitter event to be a part of. Also, tweet somebody you haven't tweeted before. If you read a blog post, tweet them, let them know your thoughts and everything like that. So be interactive and on not just on your blog and commenting, but on your social media platforms. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, comment and correspond with people who comment on yours as well. Okay, so I hate to rush through that. I just was trying to do this video in a short amount of time so you guys can get on with your evening. Thank you so much for showing back up here and listening. I hope you all are learning a lot. I have been getting a lot of comments about, how much, it's been helping them, and, how much of a good video, or excuse me, how good the information is. So I'm glad that I'm helping you all, because that is my goal. I definitely want to share what I know so I can help others. So that's it. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can put them in the comments. You can tweet me. You can also email me at hello@girlyandinspired.com. Okay, so thank you once again. I'll see you back here next week for the 5th installment of the Blog Girl series. Thank you. Bye.